Hi, and welcome to video number 2 as part of our Google Ads video series. In this video, we're going to do a live walkthrough of creating your first campaign and chat about all the stages as part of that process. So when you log into Google Ads, you should see a screen that looks similar to this with new campaign here. You'll also see this blue circle here, so just click on either of those to start creating your new campaign. So if we click on this and select new campaign, the page it takes us to asks us to select a goal. You'll recognize this if you're on Facebook ads. It does the same sort of thing. It asks you the same sort of questions. What you select here really just helps Google predefine some of your answers for the next stages. It's not mandatory that you actually use this, but just as a quick example, if we select a product and brand consideration, you can see the campaign types that it gives us options of: display and video. If we do website traffic as a goal, you can see there also adds in search, discovery, shopping campaigns. And if you select no goal here, you can see that it gives you a few more. So go ahead and select whichever one you want. We'll assume we're going to drive traffic to a website. So select website traffic. And this is about search campaigns today. More complicated campaigns or more you can do with these campaigns, but let's go with search. We'll select search. And you can just ignore this bit just now and hit continue. So that brings us on to the next stage of creating the campaign. There's quite a few things on this page. If we scroll down, just show them quickly. So what we'll do now is we'll walk through most of those and show you what to put in. So give your campaign a name. Let's assume we're going to do a campaign about eating out in Edinburgh. So let's call it eating out in Edinburgh. We're asked about networks here, so the search network and display network. So the search network is what you typically see ads appearing at the top and on the side of search results in Google. Display network is banners across other people's websites. So we're not wanting to do that. We want this just to be exclusively a search campaign. So make sure you untick this just now. Display network can be good, but we recommend you set it up as a separate campaign if you are going to do it. Some additional settings down here about start and end dates. So you might have a campaign that runs to a certain period. You can put in an end date here so it doesn't accidentally spend beyond what you want it to spend or beyond a certain date. We'll close that for now. Important part here, locations. Just be careful because by default it selects all countries and territories. We assume you don't want to actually target every country and every territory. So you can either maybe just select United Kingdom, or we recommend enter another location. So if you click another location, you can type regions in. Or what you can do is click on this advanced search, which results in a pop-up appearing. And then you could just start typing regions in. So if you're trying to get people up to Edinburgh from England, for example, just type in England in here. Give you some regions in England, tells you how the reach that you could possibly have, whether you want to exclude it or places nearby it or just target it. So if we hit target there, you can see it highlights England on the map. Also worth looking at this radius feature. So if we take something like Manchester, Liverpool, the big cities, it might be that you want to specifically target people in that region. So you could just type in Liverpool, Manchester in the box there. But there's quite a lot of people who live just in the outskirts of these big cities as well. So if you select radius and type in Manchester in a 20-mile radius, so you can change this to 30 or whatever, you can change it to kilometres or miles. So let's just do 30 miles. And if we hit target there, you should see this circle appears on the screen, which means we're going to target people in that circle. So you could, rather than target the whole of England, for example, you could target radius around Manchester, Newcastle, Sheffield, Leeds, Birmingham, London, these sort of things. So then just hit save. So you've picked some regions to target now. So if we scroll down a bit, it asks about English. About language. It defaults to English, so just leave that. Audiences, you can do some clever things with audience targeting. So if we click into things like affinity targets, affinity audiences, what their interests and habits are. So if you click in here, there's one about travel and travel buffs. So you could select that if you wanted to. It just tries to tighten up the targeting of your ad. I'm going to just leave that one just now. We can come back and change that later on. Budget, how much you're prepared to spend per day. So you do control this. So if we put in £10 as an example, what you'll find with the budget is that it's calculated over like a rolling 28 days, 29 days. So you might find, even although you put in £10 per day, it might spend £12 one day and £9 the next, but over the course of a rolling 28-day period, it will spend almost spot on 28 times 10. So don't worry if it goes over some days. So put in whatever you're comfortable spending. Don't go too high. Start small, test, refine before you spend a lot of money. What do you want to focus on? It tries to force you to conversions, but for conversion bidding to work, you have to have had conversions and be tracking it. So we recommend you just go with clicks. And you can set a maximum cost per click limit if you want to. So you could rely on Google just to do this for you within your £10 budget. Or you could select here and say, right, well, okay, I would like you to control it, but I don't want you spending any more than 50p anytime someone clicks on my ad. And you can see there that it's telling you that it's going to use the automated bid of maximize clicks. So it will try and bid up and down within those limits. Some more settings in here. You don't need to do much with these just now, so we'll just close that. You can come back and change that. So scheduling we'll chat about in the next video. And down here, a section called ad extensions. Now, a lot of people don't set these up if you're new to Google Ads. I recommend that you do, but worth going and reading about them first. It just gives you extra text within your ads, and Google likes you using it. It gives you a little bit more kudos if you use it. And just to show you an example, if we click on here, so I've searched for parking in Edinburgh. So this is an ad here, and there's quite a lot of text on this ad, but actually just this first part here is the text of the ad. This here up to the full stop, and then this here up to another full stop, and this part here, these are called call-out extensions. And these links here, these are called site link extensions. So you can see that by using those, you're able to put more information into your ad rather than just relying on an ad with just 2 lines of text in it, which is what it would be otherwise. Come all the way down. You've changed your settings, your clicks, your budget, your location, and hit save and continue. So that brings us to the next stage, looking at adding an ad group and adding some keywords to it. So if you've not watched video 1 in the series, go and do that, where we chat about keywords. So first thing to do is give the ad group a name. So let's call it Eating Out. And we've got a campaign about places to eat, so we'll call this ad group Eating Out. And then in this box, just type in some keywords. So places to eat. So you can add some more. You see down here, there's a little bit about match type. So we mentioned that in the first video as well. Go watch that to find out more about these. But for this purpose, we're going to make these all phrase match, which we do by adding quotations around it. You can see over at the side here, it's trying to calculate how many clicks you're going to get for the cost per click that you've put in and the budget you've put in the previous stage. It's a calculation, it's an estimate, it's not an exact science, so I would still push ahead and go with that. So we've added an ad group name, we've added some keywords in here, so just hit save and continue. So the next stage is all about creating the ad. You can see some tips along the top. For each ad group, they recommend you create at least 3 ads that closely match your keywords, and it gives you a reminder of the keywords. So the whole point of having campaigns split out by ad groups and ad groups that contain keywords is that you can group the keywords together and therefore have an ad that's relevant to the keywords you're bidding on. So just scroll down. You can see your ad previewed here. You can see what it looks like on mobile and on desktop. Put in information, put in your web address. You get the option of up to 3 headlines. Absolutely, definitely put the first 2 in. The third one's more optional. If you've got something to say, stick that in as well. Same with the description. Definitely put in one. I recommend you put in both of them. So think about the keywords that you found while you were doing your keyword research with Keyword Planner and other tools. And again, you'll see what your ad looks like here. Feel free to change it if you want to. And then either save and continue, or hit back, or done and create a next ad. So hit done. You can create a new ad if you want to. For now, we'll just hit save and continue. The final stage is the review stage. So you can see here it's given as a warning, not a warning, a suggestion. Create at least 3 ads in our campaign to improve performance. So recommend you go do that. This is just a test run through to show you, but ideally you would have a couple of ad groups within your campaign and 2 or 3 ads within each of those ad groups. So this first ad group within the campaign is all about eating out. It might be that you create another ad group all about restaurants, which in turn would also have 2 or 3 ads within it. So if you're happy with everything here, the budget, where you're targeting, the bid strategy. Just hit publish. Once published, you'll then be taken to this page where you can see your campaign here, your budget, some columns about all the metrics, which will start populating once the campaign picks up some traction. If you have any issues or you don't want it live right now, make sure you hit this drop down here and hit pause and make sure you pause the campaign. Otherwise, it is live. It will start spending money. But if we click into this campaign now, you should be able to see the ad group that we just created. So eating out, if we click into the ad group, you should then see the keywords that we added in there, and you can see all through those options to add more. And while we're in here at this level, if you click over onto ads, you'll then be able to see the ad that we created. It's under review, and again, option to add more. So just make sure you're logging in and checking the performance of your ads, your ad groups, and your campaigns. If at any point you're unsure, hit the pause button, hit the enabled, and hit pause and stop it and come back and review. But that should be your campaign live. It's at a basic level. So make sure you come in and learn more about Google Ads so that you can refine it and target it a bit more and make it more efficient as you learn.